Shout out to YouTube for liking the live stream. I don't know who that was, but shout out to y'all. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Money Making Monday. Happy Motivation Monday. What's going on, TikTok? Hello, FB. If y'all coming in, make sure y'all tap the live stream. YouTube, I'm gonna need for y'all to tap the live stream when y'all come in. And FB, I'm gonna need for y'all to tap the live as well. So, today's topic, y'all, if you do not have a way to make money outside of your 9 to 5, you need to be getting in this chat right now. It's time to talk. It's time to get serious, y'all. It's time to listen. If you don't have a way to make a minimum of 5 to 10K a month outside of your 9 to 5, you need to get in this chat. You need to get in this chat. FB, somebody say something. I don't know if somebody could say something. I'm trying to see if I can see the comments. But welcome in, everybody. If you are just joining, my name is Lane. I'm based in Atlanta. I teach you guys how to get paid from housing the homeless to starting your own housing program. I take everyday people and turn them into impactful CEOs, impactful earners. So if you've ever had desire to get paid for your purpose without having to be a nonprofit, without having to go through all these crazy conditions, you need to be in this live stream and I'm going to tell you how. Hey, Dana. Okay, there we go. Hey, Rochelle. Hey Jackie. All right, now we got some comments coming in. Period. Come on in. TikTok, y'all like the live stream. Who is this? Ali on YouTube. Shout out to y'all in the chat tonight. So YouTube, make sure you guys give the live stream a thumbs up. Give the live stream a thumbs up. So I had a coaching call earlier today with one of my mentees, and I just found out that she got fired from her job, y'all. But here's the thing: even though she got fired from her job, she has a housing program that's still able to sustain her outside of her 9 to 5. And honestly, that right there is a blessing in disguise. Imagine being fired from your job and you have a whole business over here that could still sustain you. So that's what I want to teach y'all tonight, how you need to have options outside of your 9 to 5 where you shouldn't be relying on just one income stream. So I teach you guys how to get paid through housing the homeless by starting independent housing programs. Anybody can do this, y'all. Anybody could start an independent housing program. You don't have to be anybody special. I have students that are felons. I got students that just came home from prison last month, already got a house. Like, this is real life, y'all. If you want it bad enough, there's nothing off the table for you. You just have to apply yourself and be willing to put in the work. But anybody can come into this field and thrive. Anybody can come into this field and thrive, y'all. YouTube, let's hit the thumbs up on the live stream. What's going on? It's a bunch of us in the chat tonight. God works in mysterious ways. Amen. That part. That part. And I never want y'all to be in a position or in a situation where you get fired from your job and you have no other options. So if you've ever had desire to get paid from housing veterans, seniors, people transitioning from prison, people that are disabled but can still live independently, you need to be starting you a housing program, y'all. Now, let me tell y'all what this is not. This is not a group home. This is not a personal care home, and this is not an assisted living. So what does that mean? That means you do not have to be licensed to do this. You don't have to have 24-hour care. You do not have to be a nurse or a CNA. And here's another thing. You don't even have to own a property, y'all. I have housing programs and houses that I don't even own. I don't even own these houses, y'all. So I take everyday people and turn them into impactful earners, impactful CEOs. Yes, you can get paid for your purpose. Yes, you can get paid from housing the homeless. No, you don't have to be a nonprofit. That's what the talk is tonight, y'all. Hey, Sway. That's what the talk is tonight. So let's say this, y'all. So we are starting independent housing programs, y'all. We're not doing group homes no more. And I'm going to tell you why. Because felons can come in this industry, do their biggest one. When I tell y'all my top student, she is a felon and she got 3 houses. All her houses are filled and she rent out the houses. And she rent out the houses as a felon. So that should tell y'all something. For the ones in the chat thinking, oh, I got bad credit. Oh, I have this on my background. Don't none of that stuff matter. None of that stuff matter. We are running a business, y'all. So it's a whole nother set of rules, a whole nother set of terms. So for everybody that's in the chat, yes, you can get paid to house the homeless without being a group home, without being a personal care home, without being the assisted living. The new wave is starting independent housing programs. So what you might be thinking, well, what's the independent housing program? Some people may call it independent living. Some people call it co-living, shared housing. Some people may call it what else they call it? Sober living. It's all the same concept, y'all. We are only offering safe and structured living for people in need. We're not providing 3 meals a day. We're not bathing nobody up. We not sitting here giving out medication. That's why anybody can come in this field and get started. So that's what the difference is. Now, I want everybody in the chat to drop their city. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. I'm going to tell you guys the bed prices that you can charge for your area, just depending on where you're located. So, for example, I'm based in Atlanta, right, y'all? In Atlanta, my bed price starts at $750 a month, and I do shared rooms. So I do a minimum of 2 people to 1 room, y'all. So, who we got? San Antonio, Texas. In Texas, they charge it anywhere between 700 to 850, just depending. In Cali, people are charging 950 and up. Augusta, Georgia. I have students in Augusta, Georgia. I think their bed price is like 650 out there in Augusta. Phoenix, Arizona. One of my students, Majesty, she's in Arizona. I think Majesty bed price is like 850. It started at 850. St. Louis. Is Takika in the chat? Takika, she in Missouri. I can't think of. I think St. Louis. St. Louis is like 750 starting out. Charlotte and Charlotte, they charging like 700 per bed, 650 to 700. It just depends. So you might be thinking, how do I know how much money I could charge per bed in this business? Now, here's the thing, y'all. I am not teaching y'all to rent out private rooms. These are not private rooms. I'm not teaching you guys to put up rooms on Pass Split, on FB Marketplace. These are shared rooms. So we get a minimum of 2 individuals to share 1 room. And yes, there are grown adults that are willing to share a room with another individual. TikTok, let's get the live stream up to 1,000 likes. What's going on, y'all? Yes, there are independent people, y'all, that are grown, that are willing to share a room with another individual. Maybe people like me and you wouldn't share a room because we don't have to. We have options, but there is a demographic of people that have no other choice. And I'm going to get into that a little later in the live stream so you can know what type of individuals you need to house in your housing program. So you might be thinking, oh, and one of my students, she just opened up her house in Fresno. She just opened up her house today in Fresno, California. Let me show y'all. Listen, my students is really winning in real life. That's why it matters who you learn the business from, because success leaves clues. And while y'all sitting there watching from the sidelines, my students is really doing their biggest one. Let me show y'all. This is Olivia. She just opened her house in Fresno, California. So for y'all that's in the chat thinking, oh, can I do this in Fresno? Can I do this in Cali? Absolutely. I got success stories all across the US. It's really real on this side, y'all. So my students is really taking action and taking off. That's why I tell y'all, I take everyday people and turn them into impactful earners. I don't care if you a felon. I don't care if you got bad credit. I don't care if you don't got $1 to your name. If you got that mindset and the work ethic, you can definitely turn it around for yourself. Anything is possible on this channel. Hey, Casey. Anything is possible on this channel. You connect with a winner, which is myself, you automatically become a winner. So that's what we're talking about. My student just launched her house in Fresno, California, doing her biggest one. So let me teach you guys how you can get paid from housing the homeless through starting your own housing program. Can it be done in Arizona? Yes. One of my top students, her name is Majesty. She's in Arizona. So yes, I'm in Sacramento, 950 with food. So I don't teach my students to provide food, but if that's the case for you, that's cool. But I don't teach my students to provide food because depending on where you're located in the country, sometimes when you start providing these people food, they're gonna look at you like you're a group home. They're gonna look at you like you're a personal care home, and they're gonna make you have to get licensed. So here's the thing. Here's the thing, y'all. This is what I teach y'all. I teach you guys how to start this business without going through all that red tape, without going through all the red tape, without needing to be zone licensed and being certified. This is the new niche. This is the new niche. So yes, my student Majesty, she's in Arizona. She got 3 houses up and running, and she's a nonprofit. She's not a nonprofit, and she's a single mom. I was reading something, y'all. Do you need experience? No, you don't need experience to start this up. No. Long as you got a business mind and a heart to want to help people, you definitely can do this. I have 10 beds. That's amazing. So back to what I was saying, y'all. You can get paid per bed for housing individuals in need. So we are putting a minimum of 2 individuals in one room. 2 individuals in one room. And depending on where you're located, you can charge anywhere between $500 all the way up to maybe like $1,200. So that's what the difference is. That's what the difference is. So how do you determine what you're going to charge in your area? So that depends on how much the cost of living is. It depends on what the people that you're housing can afford. So for example, y'all, I'm based in Atlanta. I got 6 houses and 49 beds. My starting bed price is $750. However, I have people that pay me $1,000 a month per bed, and I have people that pay me $1,200 a month per bed. It just depends. It just depends. But definitely, it depends on where you're located and how much the cost of living is. So I'm gonna just give y'all that ballpark number. Okay, so you might be thinking, well, what type of people can I house in my housing program? So the demographics that I serve, y'all, I serve seniors, I serve veterans, I serve people coming home from prison or jail. I also serve people that are disabled, but that are on a fixed income. And I also serve working people that have a job. So those are the different demographics that you can house in a shared room. So let's go back to how are we getting paid? Because a lot of y'all thinking that you need grants to run this. No, you don't need no grant. No, you don't need to be a nonprofit. So here's the thing. We don't include food. So we don't provide food. Listen, y'all, let me break this down for y'all. This is independent housing, which means this is kind of like independent living. We are only providing housing only. That's what the difference is. We are only providing housing, y'all. We are not sitting here giving out 3 meals a day. We're not sitting here bathing nobody up. We're not treating people like they is in a group home. That's what the difference is. Once you start doing all of that stuff, you're going to open up a whole nother can of worms. That's why I teach my students how to run this business successfully a certain way. Once you start getting into that, the city will come knocking your door and they will shut you down. I teach my students to stay in their lane. How do you stay in your lane? Offer housing only. The minute you start doing all these different things and you trying to give out medication, and they're going to come knocking at your door. Excuse me, do you have a license to run this personal care home? That's not what we running, y'all. We not running personal care home. We running independent housing. So what is independent housing? Independent housing means that the people that we provide housing for, the people that we provided a housing environment for, y'all, they are high functioning and can do for themselves. So what does that mean? They can go in that kitchen and make them something to eat. They can take their own meds. They can bathe themselves up. Those are the only people we are housing. If you get people that come in and they need you to sit here, they don't qualify for independent housing. If you can't get out of bed on your own and walk to the bathroom, you don't qualify to be in independent housing. You need to go and be in somebody's nursing home. You need to be in somebody's care home. This ain't that, y'all. That's why I tell y'all, you don't need a license to run this. You don't need a certification, and you don't need 24-hour staff, because the people that we house are high functioning and can do for themselves. And yes, you can mix demographics together in one house. And listen, the biggest misconception that people think that, oh, I only want to house veterans. I only want to house seniors. I only want to house this demographic. Listen, once you start thinking like that, y'all, you're going to have a tough time trying to make some money in this business. You're going to have a tough time filling your beds, because that's not how life works. This is what I teach my students. I teach my students that we provide safe and structured housing for people in need. What does that mean? Anybody in need, not just one certain demographic. The minute you start narrowing yourself down to only one demographic, you are going to have a hard time in this business. Because what happens when you open up your house, you telling people, oh, I only want to house veterans. What happened if 1 month go by and you can't get not one veteran in your house? Then what you gonna do? You got to pay rent in 30 days. So you got to make it make sense. I try to make things realistic for y'all so that you're not sitting here getting into business and you in the red. There's a lot of misconception on the internet. There's a lot of false information being spread on the internet. That's why you need to find someone that you know, someone that you like and trust that you want to learn from, because it's a whole lot of false information being spread. I teach my students, we provide housing to people in need, period. People in need, period. That can be anybody. So that's just that on that. You do not need no license to start up a housing program. You don't need no zoning and no certification. That's why I come on here and I teach you guys this business model, because anybody can come in this business and win. You can even be a felon. You can be a middle school educated person. You can be somebody that don't know nothing about nothing. As long as you know how to have a caring spirit in your body and a good business mindset, you can do this business. It's not rocket science, y'all. It is not rocket science. We are only providing safe and structured living for people in need. So, like I told you guys, this is not a group home. This is not a personal care home. This is not an assisted living. This is independent housing. Some people call it independent living. Some people call it shared housing. Some people call it co-living. It's all the same concept. We are only providing housing only. So remember that. If you don't remember nothing else in this live, housing only. Somebody type housing only in the chat. I'm gonna need for y'all to interact with me. It's a lot of y'all just looking at me. I'm gonna need to see some comments. Type housing only in the chat before we go to the next thing. So I'm gonna teach you guys the next step. Period. Housing only. So I want y'all to remember that we only provide housing only. We're not giving out 3 meals a day. You're not obligated to give nobody medication. You're not obligated to bathe nobody up and babysit these people. These are grown, independent people that can do for themselves, y'all. They don't need to be babysat. When I tell y'all, I get on planes, I go take trips, I live my life. I don't have to sit here and be tied to my houses. We are creating independent housing programs that do not require a whole lot of our time, y'all. That's why I teach my students, when you set this business up, this business should run itself after a while. You don't have to be chained to your house every single day. Once your house is set up and structured a certain way, you can live your life. You can do other things. You can work from home. I want you guys to have options. A 9 to 5 should not be your only income source. So if you still working a 9 to 5 and you don't have a way to make money outside of a 9 to 5, you need to be in this chat right now, because we talking about how to get paid from housing the homeless. That anybody can do. Anybody can do this, y'all. And I don't want to hear none of y'all excuses in this chat, because I got felons that are coming home from prison, getting houses and starting their housing programs. So I don't want to hear no static from none of y'all. None of y'all, because you clearly don't want it bad enough. I have students that are felons, up and running, got 2-3 homes, houses filled. So there is no excuse for you. I don't care if you got bad credit. I don't care if you ain't got no college degree. I don't care if you ain't went to school for nothing. You can come in this business and thrive. As long as you got that work ethic on you, you definitely can go to the top with this. For real, for real. Have you ever given a tour of your houses? Yes, I always go live from my houses on TikTok and FB. So I recommend you go follow me over there, because I have videos on my pages of my houses. And honestly, all the content that I post, y'all, those are my houses. I don't have to fake anything for the internet. So you can actually scroll through my content and you can see, if you're on YouTube, it'll be under my shorts. If you on TikTok, you can go through my content. Y'all will see the different houses, the different backgrounds. I really do this for real. And here's the thing. I do have some houses that are my favorites over other houses. So you may see a lot of one house over another house. But if you go scroll my content, you definitely can see the different backgrounds of different people. Because that's another thing. Anybody can come on this internet and fake that they have a house and show and stage some people. But y'all see the same people every single time, y'all. Like in my content, you will see the same people, because those are really my people. You do not have to own the houses, y'all. So in this business, I teach you guys how to get started with renting property. So now, for example, if you're already a homeowner, if you already own property, that's fine. Start what you have. But I have students that are single moms, which is Majesty. She used the house that she lived in. So honestly, y'all, there's so many ways to get started. So many ways to get started. You can own a house, you can rent them. Currently, I rent my houses. I have 6 houses and 49 beds. Hey, Wealthy. So I have 6 houses and 49 beds, y'all. Anybody can start this. You don't have to own the property. And I had one of my students, Tony. Tony came home from prison last month, y'all, and he just rented a house for his housing program. So I don't want to hear none of y'all excuses talking about you got bad credit, talking about, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. We got people that are just touched down from prison that's already getting houses and starting a housing program. It's not rocket science. But guess what? He learned from the best. He learned from the queen of this. So of course your success is going to be different when you learn from the right people, and success leave clues. So yes, y'all, you can do this business without owning the property. You can rent the property. And some people, honestly, I have students that have taken my class, y'all, and they never had a house and they still make money with this. They still make money with this because guess what? They help other people get placed into housing. So honestly, there's so many ways to get to a bag. You don't even have to have a house if we being for real. If we being for real. All right, let me tell y'all the biggest misconception. The biggest misconception, people think that you need grants to run this. You do not need grants. Somebody type no grants in the chat. Somebody type no grants in the chat. And I'm going to tell y'all why you don't need grants to run this. Type no grants in the chat, and I'm going to tell you guys why you don't need grants to run this type of housing program. Because like I told y'all, it's a lot of fake, false information being told on the internet. A whole lot of false information. A whole lot of false information. No grants needed, period. So here's the thing, y'all. I'm going to teach you guys how we get paid in this business because we're not getting paid through grants. So this business model that I teach you guys, this is strictly private pay. So what does private pay mean? Private pay means that individuals that we house have their own money. Guess what? A lot of y'all think that just because y'all hear the word homeless, that people ain't got no money. The homeless people that I house and the homeless people I teach my students to house, they have money, y'all. They have money. They have Social Security, they have disability, VA benefits, they have retirement, and some of them even work jobs. So when you're sitting here housing people that have guaranteed income, guess what? What do you need a grant for? Everybody can pay for their own bed. So all that grant talk is stupid. It's crazy. You don't need a grant to start this up. You do not need a grant to start this up. This is completely private pay, y'all. Private pay means the people that we house pay us directly. So guess what? You don't get no money from the state. You don't get money through insurance. We don't get any grant funding. This is strictly private pay. And that's why anybody can come in this business and do it. That's why felons can come in this business and start a housing program, become financially free, because we don't go through all that zoning, all that red tape. The minute that you start having to get grants, y'all, the minute you start having to get money from the state and from these insurance companies, you will have to be licensed, zoned, and certified. I teach you guys how to start this business with no license, no zoning, and no certification. That's what the difference is. We bypassing all of that nonsense. That's why I'm able to take everyday people and turn them into impactful earners, impactful CEOs, and actually live a life of their dreams without having to go through all of that. So if you ever had a dream that, oh, I wish I could own my own group home, I wish I could do that, but you have a felony, you don't have good credit. Listen, there's always a way to get to where you want to go in life. You just have to find it. And guess what, y'all? I'm the one that found it. I cracked the code for me, and that's why I come on here and teach y'all. There are so many ways to get to a bag. Stop being one set minded when it comes to your dreams. Let that group home dream go. We starting up independent housing programs now, y'all. This is a new wave because anybody can come in this with no experience, no certification, even with a messed up past. You can still come in this business and be successful. You're not doing that in no personal care home. You're not doing that in no group home. You got to be by the book, and them people is not going to let you open your doors. So this is the new wave, y'all. That's why I be trying to put y'all on. So I'm going to need for y'all to wake up. If you're not making anywhere between 5K to 10K a month outside of your 9 to 5, you need to be in this live stream right now and stop playing so much. I really teach people how to get paid from housing the homeless with no experience, no certifications, no license, and you don't even need a whole lot of money. So y'all might be thinking, well, how do I rent? How am I able to rent these homes? How am I able to do this, do that? Listen, y'all, the landlords know what I do and they love what I do. We have full permission to do what we do in these homes. So I teach my students how to get permission from the landlords through subleasing. There is no funny business going on here. And there's nothing illegal about housing independent, high functioning people that need a place to call home. Now, the minute you start trying to house these people and they bed bound and you trying to sit here and act like you running a nursing home on the low, now they're gonna come and lock your tail up. I ain't teach y'all that. I teach you guys to stay in your lane, provide housing only, give these people a safe and structured place to call home, and make your money in peace and let them live their life. That's what we do. We're not sitting here doing all these crazy things that's illegal. There's nothing illegal about providing safe housing. The way I try to get y'all to understand. So before I was doing this business, y'all, I was doing Airbnb, right? Now, when I first started my Airbnb, guess what? I did not go calling no city and saying, "Hey, do I got permission to set up this Airbnb?" I went and got me an apartment. I set it up and I started making my money in peace. The same concept, y'all. So you sitting here waiting for permission. I go out there and create the life I want. Y'all be a little too scary for me. Y'all be a little too scary for me. And that's why y'all be stuck in the same place in life. Because number one, y'all not risk takers and y'all don't invest in yourselves. The people that don't take risks is not going to get wealthy in this life, y'all. If you are not a risk taker, if you're a scary individual, you will not get far in this life. And guess what? Me doing Airbnb led to me doing this housing business because I got tired of all the constant turnover. So if I got any people that's doing Airbnb in this chat, this definitely should be your next move. Starting a housing program, starting independent housing should definitely be your next move. And it's a no-brainer. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because even when I was doing Airbnb, even when you're doing Airbnb, every month your money is up and down. You don't really know, okay, this month I might do really good. Next month, people might not be traveling. So your numbers might be low. But in this business, y'all, I teach you guys that in this business, when you have a certain amount of beds in your house, you're going to get paid every single month for those beds as long as you have your beds filled and those people in those beds. So you know what you're going to be getting every month. So let me teach you guys how much money you can make from one house. Okay. I'm going to teach you how much money you can make from one house and I'm going to use my actual first house that I have. So I'm going to give y'all that example. Now, when I first got started in this business, I teach my students to go after a minimum 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, right? So my first home was a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and I had 8 beds in that house. So, like I told you guys, we are doing shared rooms. We are doing shared rooms. We are not doing private rooms. We're doing shared rooms, which is a minimum of 2 people in one room. So I have 8 beds in that one house, right, y'all? So let me do some math with y'all. And my very first house, for those people that's asking, well, how much did it take for you to get started? So my first house, y'all, was $1850. My rent was $1850, and my deposit was $1850. So in order for me to get into my first house, which is a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, I needed $3,700. And you might be thinking, well, where do you get that money from? I got that money from my Airbnb business, y'all. So I use the money from my previous business to fund this business. And that's what I tell y'all. When you first starting out, sometimes you're going to have to do what you have to do to get your dream off the ground. Whether that's you go out and DoorDash and Uber Eats to save up enough money to get the first month in deposit for your home, whether that's you coming online, selling the digital product to get to where you need to go. But we're not using grants. You don't need grants for this business. Go out there and figure out how to get first month rent and deposit in your area. So when y'all be asking me, well, how much is it going to take for me to start in this area? I don't know how much a 4-bedroom, 2-bath is in your area. I don't know how much a 3-2 is in your area. Only you would know that. But I know for me, y'all, it cost me $1850 for the first month rent and $1850 for the deposit. So that was $3,700 total to get into my first home. Now, let me tell you guys, we are putting for a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, you should have a minimum of 8 beds in that house, y'all. You should have a minimum of 8 beds in that house. And let me show you. My bed price is 750 a bed, right? And sometimes even in the 4-2, you might get more beds, just depending on how big the house is, the square footage. So you may get more than 8, but I like to say a minimum of 8 to make it make sense for me. So at 8 beds at 750, y'all, the house was bringing me in 6K a month. The house was bringing me in 6K a month, y'all. And that's just off of me not having to trade my time for money. I'm not slaving at no desk. I'm not slinging Amazon packages. I'm just collecting money every month just by keeping the bills paid, having the house fully furnished, and that's it. How would your life look if you could make an extra 5 to 10K outside of your 9 to 5? And that's what I'm telling you. You don't have to sit here and trade all of this time for money. So, one house, y'all, could be life changing. And honestly, one house was life changing for me because I wasn't even making that at my 9 to 5. At my 9 to 5, I probably was making like 3K a month, if that. So listen, y'all, one house can really change the trajectory of your whole life. And the way that I teach my students, when you get your first house, you want to rinse and repeat. So you take everything you did in your first house, get you a second house, get you a third house. I don't know how much your freedom number is, but some people freedom number is 2K, 10K a month, right? So let's say you got the goal to make 10K a month outside of a 9 to 5, right? Let me show you how to get to 10K months in this business. Let me show you how to get to 10K months in this business. So remember, I told you guys a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom should give you 8 beds. Now let's say we got 16 beds at 750. 16 beds is 12K a month, y'all. And that's just from 2 houses. That's just from 2 houses. That's generating you 12K. And this is gross. Of course, we're going to pay rent and stuff like that, but that's still good money. So this is money that half y'all probably not even making 12K at your job. So let's be so for real. Half of y'all not probably even making 5K a month at your 9 to 5. But I'm teaching you guys how to set this business up to where you have options that even if you are working your 9 to 5, start you a housing program on the side. An extra 5K a month could do a lot of things for y'all. An extra 10K a month that you didn't have to sit here and slave for can do a lot of things for y'all. Can you just imagine? And I know we got some people in this chat that might be homeowners that have property just laying around. If you're not tuned in, I don't know what you're doing. Because I got landlords, I got people that own properties that are under me that are students that have transitioned all their rentals to this business model. And it's way better than renting traditionally, y'all. And let me tell you why. So remember, y'all, this is a housing program. So what does that mean? The people that we house are not tenants. We are not nobody's landlord, and these people are not tenants. So they have to follow the program rules to be in our program, and these are program participants. So when y'all start asking me, what about eviction? What about if they don't pay? If they don't pay, guess what? They getting released from the program because in these rules, you a program participant. The minute you don't pay, you hitting the road. Same thing, the same way they do at a hotel, y'all. Same way they do at Airbnb. When you go stay at somebody Airbnb, guess what you got to follow? They house rules, right? If you start going and telling people Airbnb, you think you throwing house parties, you think you about to be doing what you want to do and bringing extra people that's not on the reservation, then people will call the police and have you escorted off the premises. It's the same concept as a housing program, but we are independent housing, so we make the rules up. And here's the thing, y'all. There is no right or wrong way to start your housing program. So you can make it as lenient as you want, or you can make it as strict as you want. Me personally, I like to run a strict program, so my rules is different. But some people may come in this business like, oh, I don't want to give my people curfews. Oh, I don't want to do this. But there is no right or wrong way to how you want to structure your housing program, y'all. So that's the beauty of this business. So if you want to be extra strict, put it in your rules. And your people are going to follow it. If they don't like your rules, they can hit the road. Same thing with my people. And listen, y'all, I got 6 houses and 49 beds, and my people love it here, even with my strict program. They love the fact that I run a strict program. So that when y'all asking me what type of rules should we set, whatever you want to set for your people is what you could set for them. But me personally, for the students that get my program, I give them the rules that I use for my housing program. So if you want to take the guesswork out, my bundle is going to definitely give you the program rules that I use in my program and everything like that. But there is no right or wrong way. Mommy teacher says student here, period. Period. I got my students in the chat. But yeah, y'all, so you can make it as lenient or as strict as you like, however you want to do it. But let me say this. Let me say this. When there are no rules, when there are no structure, just know that the people will start wilding out. And a lot of y'all ask me, so this is kind of like a rooming house. This is kind of like a boarding home. I hate that word, y'all. This is not that. And let me tell you why. I'm going to tell you why this is not that. Because in rooming homes and boarding homes, there is no structure. And those people is doing whatever they want. And I always tell my students, there's a thin line between a rooming house and a trap house. We don't do that, y'all. I don't teach my students to put up trap houses. We are actually impacting our community because we are offering safe and structured living. Safe and structured, y'all. That's the difference. This is safe and structured. So what does that mean? They have to follow rules. The moment that they don't pay, guess what? They leaving. They not bringing visitors up in this house. There are no guests. You're not about to be getting high in my houses. You're not about to be prostituting in my houses. So that's what the difference is between this and a rooming house, y'all. People in rooming houses, people in boarding houses, they're just renting out a single room and they doing what they want to do. They not answer. They thinking they ain't got to answer to nobody. This ain't that, y'all. They not coming in here and doing what they want to do. They got to follow our program. And the minute they don't get with the program, they hitting the road. Simple as that. So that's why this business model that I teach y'all is way more impactful and you have way more control over your property. When you have shared rooms in your housing, you have a shared living program, this is way more accountability for the individuals that we house. And believe it or not, y'all, a lot of people that we house, the demographic that we serve, they need structure. They need structure because if they don't have no structure, they will wild out. So that's what the difference is. We are really impacting our communities through providing these safe and structured living environments because honestly, y'all, if it's not for housing programs like us, the individuals that we would house, they would either be on the streets or they would be in prison. They would be in the streets, in prison, or at a shelter. There is no in between. So we have a big demographic of homelessness that if they are not in those three places, y'all, they have to find housing programs like us. Because let me tell y'all this, the people that we serve and that we house, they can't just go out and rent a traditional rental like me and you can. Because number one, these people have backgrounds. Number two, these people have bad credit. And a lot of them are on a fixed income. So what does that mean? So let me give y'all some perspective. So I told you guys my bed price is $750 a month, right? I have some seniors that only get $943 a month. Where in this country can you find a place to live for $943 a month? It's not happening. It's not happening, y'all. That's why places like us are needed. The homeless rate in this country is crazy. That's why they need us. That's why I come on here and I teach you guys how to set these up in your cities and your states because homelessness is everywhere, y'all. Homelessness is not just in major cities like Atlanta, Charlotte. We even have homelessness in the rural areas. I have students that are in smaller cities that are in the rural areas and that's still doing amazing. They got 2-3 houses up and running. So honestly, y'all, as long as there's homelessness in your area, you can set this up. You can set this up. Somebody said, is this business competitive in some states? Listen, y'all, here's the thing about competition. And I want y'all to change y'all mindset when it comes to competition because the same way you go in the bread aisle and they got 1,000 different breads, some people might like this house over here and another person might not like this house over here. So, and this is another thing, y'all. And the thing is, some people get into this business mindset, this business with just the money on their mind, and it shows. So you could tell when a person get into the housing business and it's just for the money. Because why? They putting people in bunk beds. What else? They house is nasty. They got people using drugs and all type of crazy things in their house. Those are the people that don't really care. And you have a lot of bad houses, y'all. Every house is not quality housing. That's why I teach my students how to set these up the right way. Because just because you think it's somebody out there doing a housing don't mean they doing it the right way. So don't ever think that, oh, it's oversaturated. Everybody, listen, y'all. The same way it's 1,000 teachers on this internet teaching different things. Everybody is not doing it the same way. Everybody don't have the same intentions. You're not going to get the same quality everywhere you go. So that's why people need options. People need choices. And the people that's for you, they going to find you. So that's what the difference is. There is plenty of people in need out there. That part, senior. But yeah, y'all, so don't think like that. There is more than enough homelessness for everybody to get housed. And honestly, I don't think we ever gonna solve the problem of homelessness in this country. So don't ever think that, oh, it's oversaturated, because it's people might not do good at this housing program, but they might come to your housing program and do wonders. Because I've had that happen to me personally. I've had some of my business besties that they sent somebody from their housing program to my housing program, and guess what? They didn't work out at their housing program, but when they came to my housing program, they did amazing. I made them house managers. They kept the house clean. So you never know. People thrive in different environments, y'all. It's more than enough money to go around. Hey, Coco. More than enough money to go around. All right. So you might be thinking, all right, I got a house. What's next? Listen, y'all, a house is not the first thing on your list to get started in this business. Because the biggest mistake that I see people making in this business, when they get involved, y'all be seeing all this free information online. Y'all be trying to piece everything for free. The first thing y'all do is go out and get a house. And then you want to start complaining in these Facebook groups. Oh, I can't fill my beds. I can't fill my beds because you're doing it backwards. That's not the first step, y'all. That's why you want to invest in a good mentor that's going to show you the ropes and give you the real, because a house is not the first step, y'all. Before you go out there and get a house, you need to market. You need to market to be able to have people to put in them beds. So y'all be doing things so backwards. You have to market. You don't go out there and get you a house first, because now you went out there and rented a house and you got to pay rent in 30 days. Ain't nobody in them beds. What you going to do? Sit there looking stupid. Sitting there looking stupid because you thinking you doing stuff for free, piecing everything for free. Now you look dumb and you got to pay rent in 30 days. So I know everybody got their tax money coming up. You need to be considering starting you a housing program. Invest that money into something that can generate you more money. Not go spend it on a vacation and now you ain't got no money to come back. The way that I teach you guys to set up your housing program, listen, y'all, let me show y'all. One house was life changing for me, y'all. One house, my very first house was bringing me 6K a month. 750 times 8 bed, y'all. My very first house was bringing me in 6K a month outside of my 9 to 5. And that's why I tell y'all, if you don't have a business outside of your 9 to 5 that's bringing you money, you need to wake up. You really need to wake up. And this is the best type of business to start. Bills ain't nothing. Listen, rent ain't nothing but 1850. Rent ain't nothing but 1850. You left with 4150. And my bills don't be over $500. So if we want to talk all profit, most of y'all still ain't making no 3,600 at your 9 to 5. So be so for real. Be so for real. $3,600 that you didn't have to slave for, that you didn't have to break your back and sling Amazon packages. This sounds like a good deal to me. All you had to do is sit there and collect on the first and the third. So you ask me, this rather bills or no bills, this is still money a lot of y'all ain't seeing. 2 houses and I'm done working. That part should. I'm really telling y'all, a housing business can change your whole life. For real, for real. Where is rent that's cheap? I'm in Metro Atlanta. My rent is 18 something. I don't have no rent that's over 2K. So I'm in Atlanta. I'm in the South. But yeah, that's why I tell y'all, invest your tax money in a business that can bring you more money. For real, for real. For real, for real. You've been so on point. That part. Listen, y'all got to start changing y'all mindsets. Y'all got to start changing y'all mindset. That's why I come on here and educate y'all. This is a new wave. We're not starting up group homes no more. We're not starting up personal care homes no more. We're not starting up assisted livings, because I'm giving you guys a business model that the everyday person can come in and win. I have students that are felons that are coming in this business, opening up 2-3 houses. I have students that are single mothers. Everyday single mother. Majesty, I don't know if Majesty in this chat, but I love using her example because she's the picture of a true go-getter, true getter by any means. Majesty was on here watching me while she was door dashing one night, y'all. The same way I'm going on live stream, she was watching me door dashing, and guess what? Majesty betted on herself, invested in the class, and now she got three homes up and running. And she said she be blowing money fast. And that's real life. That's real life. Like when I tell y'all the money will money, but I want you to get into this business with the right intentions, because once you start filling up your houses and you see that you got the same consistent income every single month, yeah, it's different. It's different over here. You really can build the life of your dreams through helping others. And that's why I come on here and I teach y'all. That's why I come on here and I teach y'all this business model, because there is no other business model that a felon can come home from prison last month, take my class, and get a house to start his housing program while he's living in the halfway house. Where they doing that at? A group home ain't doing that. A personal care home ain't doing that for no felon. We really giving second chances in housing, and we creating second chance people to be successful. I don't care what your background is. I don't care if you got bad credit. You really can win in this. For real, for real. I don't know if Tony in this chat, but he really did his big one. He sat here, came home, invested in the course, and got a house while he's in the halfway house. I don't want to hear none of y'all excuses, because y'all clearly don't want it bad enough. Y'all clearly don't want to have, y'all don't want it bad enough. We got somebody just touched down from the prison yard. Housing only, y'all. That's the niche. The niche that I teach my students is stick to housing only. So what does housing only mean, y'all? We are not providing 3 meals a day. We are not bathing nobody up, and we are not giving out medication. That's why everyday people can come in this business and win. That's why everyday people can start a housing program with no grants, no certification, without being a nurse, without being a CNA, come in this business and really change their whole life and become financially free. Yeah, this is the business that has made me financially free, and that's why I be so passionate about it. This business really changed my life, y'all. I really lived a life of my dreams. 6 houses in, 49 beds, but I did not get here overnight. I did not get here overnight. I started back in 21, but imagine staying down for your come up. Imagine staying down for your come up and making over 10K a month effortlessly. Effortlessly. You ain't got to sling no Amazon package. You ain't got to sling no Amazon package. You ain't got to be miserable with the gossiping coworkers that want to be all in your business. Because I remember that. That was me. Miserable at my 9 to 5, sitting at that desk. Ladies want to be all up in your business. See what you got going on. Like, what? You can actually live life on your own terms by starting a housing business, starting a housing program. No experience needed. You don't need good credit. You don't need good credit. The people that the property management company that I rent from, y'all, they didn't ask for a credit check. They didn't ask for a background check. They didn't even ask me for bank statements. That's why you want to learn from the best in the business, because I really teach y'all what to say and how to set this up where you can really win. Once you implement the knowledge, you really could win in this, y'all. Like, what are we talking about? I'm taking everyday people and turning them into impactful CEOs, impactful earners. Yeah, we create an impact and we get into the bag and becoming financially free at the same time. That's what we talking about on this channel. Not just all that. Everything is not a money grab over here. We really having real impact. We really having real motion. And my students is a result of that. Not even me. It's the fact that I get to brag on my students. That's how I know my material work. That's how I know my blueprint work. I'm not just selling y'all something that I don't live in real life, but it's being replicated through my students. People that are felons coming home from prison and really turning their life around and turning their life up through independent housing. Like, what are we talking about? So listen, y'all, if you're not making a minimum of 5K to 10K outside of your 9 to 5, I don't know what you're doing with yourself, but you need to be starting you a housing program. You need to be starting you a housing program, and I teach you guys how to get started from A to Z. Anybody can set this up in any city, in any state. As long as you got a business mind and a heart to want to help people, you can really thrive in this field, y'all. So here's the thing. I'm going to open up some spots for students. If you want to learn from me, the realest in the field, the best in the business, the one that's really going to teach y'all from A to Z. And I really be creating winners, y'all. That's the different thing. Like my student success is next level. There is no other teacher out here that's birthing success the way me and Jay Rich and my business partner is really birthing success rates. So if you want to become a student, if you want to think, well, how can I learn under you? Drop student in the chat. Drop student in the chat. If I see enough students in the chat, I can open up some spots for students. But typically, y'all, I'm not going to be teaching this forever. I'm going to be retiring my program soon because I'm really an entrepreneur in real life. And I'm going to be moving on to my next business. However, my house is still going to be running, but I just won't be teaching y'all housing no more. So if you want to get in under my mentorship, if you want to become a student from the best in the business, the queen, drop student in the chat. Drop student in the chat. All right, we got some heavy hitters in the chat. We got some action takers in the chat. All right, so here's what I'll do, y'all, because I have to go in like 5 minutes. I got a meeting. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up spots for students. Now, this is what I'm going to do. The first 2 people, I'm going to open up spots for students for y'all. Hold on. And once you invest and become a student through getting my bundle, the bundle is the best thing for you guys to get. And I'm going to tell you why. The bundle is going to teach you from A to Z how to set this up in any city, in any state, how to find the clients that need housing, that have guaranteed income. So remember, I told you guys, we are only housing homeless individuals that have money. We're not doing anything for free. This is not charity work. This is a real business that's where real money is being made. So I teach you guys how to find the individuals that are in need of housing that have money in your community. I also teach you guys how to find landlords and property management companies that'll give you full permission to run your housing program in these rentals. So you'll have full permission to run your housing programs in these rentals. And if you already own property, that's even better. You can skip that step. And I also teach you guys how to structure your housing program to where it will run without you. Y'all, I take trips and I got some stuff planned and my houses run without me being there. So that all of that is covered from A to Z inside my bundle. And also in the bundle, y'all, I give you guys all the documents that I use to run my housing program successfully. We do not give out leases, y'all. We don't give out anything like that. I give you housing program rules, different agreements, different forms that you need to run your housing program as a program and not as a landlord. So I'm going to open up a few spots for students, and the first 2 people to get their bundle, will get a free coaching call with me to ask questions after they watch their bundle, of course. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put a timer for 5 minutes and I'm gonna show you guys how to get it. So for everybody else that's in the chat that gets their bundle, and you will also get ongoing support inside the FB community, y'all. So when you invest in your bundle or the replay, you get ongoing support and ongoing mentorship inside the FB community. We have free monthly meetups where you can come online, get your questions answered. You can meet other students that are in your city and in your state. So I'm going to put that in the chat. So hold on 1 second. Let me pin the link in the chat. So it's going to be in my STA, my stand store to invest. So let me show you guys on TikTok how to become a student to where you can start your own housing program in your city and your state. And I'm going to show it on YouTube. It's inside the description of this video. Cut from a different cloth set. Already a student, period. Let's go. Do you guys teach? So Petra, we're going to be teaching a little bit at the Tampa meetup, but if you want the foundations of the business, I would say get the bundle because that's going to walk you from A to Z. Tampa, we're going to be like deep diving on the information. So it's going to be more application. So it might go over your head. So let me show my TikTok community how to invest and how to become a student. So what you're going to do on TikTok. So remember, the first 2 people to get their bundle, I'm going to set a timer after I show y'all. The first 2 people to get their bundle is going to get free coaching from me. So you're going to click on my profile right up here and a screen is going to pop up and you're going to click on my picture again. It's going to take you to my profile. Once you get to my profile, you're going to click right here where it says STAN, and it's the first one right here. So get the bundle. So the first 2 people to get the bundle will get free coaching. I want you guys to come back and say, got it, once you got it. I want you guys to say got it when you got it. Somebody said pin it. And on FB, my link should be pinned here in this chat. It should be pinned here in this chat. Let me see. And if it's not pinned here on this chat on FB, let me show you. What you're going to do is you're going to go to my profile on FB and you're going to click on this link right there in my bio. You don't need TikTok. You're going to click on this link and it'll come up. Yeah, this is the replay and the docs. But if I have some students in the chat that need docs, that need forms, type forms in the chat, and I might put the forms on sale for y'all. That's if enough people ask for the forms, because some of y'all be playing sometimes. Y'all be playing too much. But if you want me to discount the forms, type forms in the chat, and I can definitely put that on discount. But remember, the first 2 people that purchase their bundle gets free coaching from me. They get a free coaching call with me. And I don't know if anybody got it yet, but once you get it, come back and say got it. Lasheria said, got the bundle. All right, shout out to Lasheria. So when I get off of here, I'm going to send out emails to the first 2. I don't know. Unique said, where? So it should be linked here in this live stream. It should be linked here in this live stream. What happens if you already have the replay? So if you already have the replay, you're already a student. So make sure, okay, so once you guys get your bundle and your replay, do not leave. Come back, because I want you guys to join the FB community where you're going to get free ongoing mentorship on your journey. So once you guys get your bundle, come back to the chat and I'm going to show you guys how to join the community. Somebody said forms. All right, so I'll put the forms on sale for my current students that are in need of forms. Because I took that out my bio because people be playing too much. All right, so for the students that need forms, and remember, y'all, we do have Klarna and Afterpay. Klarna and Afterpay. So if you want to do the payment plan, you definitely can. So it'll break it up into installments for you. The one-on-one mentorship is different. Yeah, but I'm not offering that at the moment. I took that out my bio. I might open up some spots for one-on-one mentorship after I finish my I got one more mentee that I'm working with that I'm coaching. So once I'm finished with her, then I'll open up some more spots for one-on-one mentorship. All right, y'all. I think the forms are on sale. And for everybody that's in the chat, I'm going to be in Florida March 28th in Tampa. I get it, but I don't know how to do it. What you mean? So what you mean? So the forms is on sale, y'all. The forms is on sale in my STORE, my store. So for everybody that's getting their bundle, that's the video of me teaching you guys for almost 3 hours how to get started in the forms. Let me show you guys how to join the FB community. When's the next meeting? So once you guys, I'll show you how to get to it inside the community. So for everybody that's investing in themselves, shout out to y'all for doing y'all biggest one. Shout out to all my action takers in the chat. So once you invest in your bundle, you're going to go to the FB community and request independent housing community. This is what it looks like, y'all. You have to physically type in independent housing community and you have to put the email that you purchased with to be approved. This is not a free situation. So the link to get the bundle is underneath this video. So if you look in the description of this video, the drop down, you should see my stand store and it'll be right there. So you click the stand store and it's the first one. All right. So once you get into this community, y'all, we have free virtual monthly meetups every single month that you guys can come on, get your questions answered and all of that. So this is how you get. So you're going to go in here, right? There's a section called events. See? Hold on, let me see if I could. All right, you see how it says events right there? You're going to click on the events tab inside the group. And once you click on the events tab, it shows you guys all the meetings that are coming up. So the next meeting we have is February 18th. And then the next one after that is March the 10th. So inside the community under the events tab, you guys will be able to click go into all of the meetups. All right. And this is how you get reminders. So please do not miss out on these meetups because this is where you're going to get your questions answered. And then you can also get your questions answered inside the community. But if you want to talk to us live and through the video call, I would say join the monthly meetups. It's so good. So a person pay after getting your program to join. The only way to get access to my exclusive community, you have to become a student. And the only way to become a student is through investing in a bundle that's linked here or investing in my replay that's linked in this chat. That's the only way to get access to me, y'all. My energy is very exclusive and it's expensive. I don't like just people around me wasting my time. So the only way to get access to me, you're gonna have to pay to play. You are gonna have to spend it. And listen, y'all, I spend it to get around mentors and people that I want to be around. So don't think that it's just one-sided because I spend money. I really spend money to get around people that I want to get next to. So that's how life is. Nobody of value is gonna give you their time for free. You're gonna have to invest it, become a student into their community. So I would say, and you might want to do that because I birth winners. All of my students are successful. My top student, y'all, she's a felon. She got started within 2 weeks of taking my program. She got started within 2 weeks. Now she got 3 houses, they all filled. So that should tell you something right there. Let me know if I'm selected for mentorship. When I get off of here, I'm gonna review to see who was the first to purchase. And then I'm gonna email the two people that got the mentorship. I don't know who was first. I don't know if anybody even. And then also, y'all, the forms are on sale. So if you're a current student, the forms are on sale too. And when I get off this live, I'm about to get off in like 3 minutes. When I get off, everything is getting snatched from my BIO. What's the name of the group? It's called Independent Housing Community. It looks like this. It looks like this. So once I get off this live stream, I'm removing my bundle. So make sure you guys get it now. Become a student now while I'm on this live because success loves speed. Success loves speed. And yeah, we do have Klarna and Afterpay. So if y'all want to do the payment plan, you definitely can. You definitely can. It'll break it up into installments for you. And honestly, one of my students, Majesty, she used Afterpay or Klarna, and she said it worked out. And Majesty got 3 houses now, and she a single mom. So, did you send me your friend request? No. Listen, y'all. I only have one page on TikTok. I will never inbox you first. There's a lot of fake pages going around. Please do not get scammed. Please do not get scammed. I only have one account and it's Lane Lavish. That's it. No extra things. And I will never inbox y'all first. I'm very busy in real life. I'm a real businesswoman. So do I pay for the community too? So Sherry, the only way to get into the community, you have to invest in the bundle or my replay. That's it. So that's you getting access. That's you paying into the community. So you have to become a student through investing in the bundle or the replay. All right, I'm about to go. Is there anybody that need to get their replay that need help getting their replay? Say help in the chat because I'm about to go. I'm sad I can't find it. Are you? So it should be linked in this chat. Let me show you. If you are on my page, go to my page and click right here. Click right there, or it should be linked in this chat. Once you click right there, let me show you what it looks like. Once you click what's the difference between the bundle and the replay? So the bundle is the replay and the form. So if you want to know what type of rules should I make, the bundle is going to be better. You're going to get more bang for your buck, y'all, because the bundle, I mean, the forms itself is way more money. So to get the best bang for your buck, I would say get this bundle, y'all. This is the best bang for your buck. It's the first one. You get the video of me teaching the class, which is almost 3 hours long, and you also get the forms that come with it. I got the forms. Thank you. Shout out to you, Charmaine. Period. So for all my students that are in the chat, the forms are currently on sale. So if you want to get your forms, and I'm about to leave in like 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Is there anybody that needs help finding their bundle? Say help if you need me to show you how to get it. Thanks. I have Klarna. Period. The bundle is going to wait forever after this live. Yes, Farron. That's why you need to take action. Y'all be waiting. Listen, success loves speed. Anything I want to do in this life, I'm not about to sit here and wait. I'm not about to sit here and wait because you never know. A person might wake up one day and be like, you know what? I'm not teaching this no more. Let me snatch all this out my bio. Because I told y'all, I'm not going to be teaching independent housing forever. That's why it's best to learn from the best in this business. So you can learn my methods, learn my model, learn everything, because I'm going to eventually be focusing my efforts on another business very soon. I'm not going to tell y'all when, but that's why you want to take action and stop dragging your feet. Success loves speed. So I got the replay. Do I need the forms? Shelly, I would recommend you get the forms unless you want to create them yourself. Thank you, Lynn, for tuning in tonight. Shantae said I can't find it. So Shantae, inside this live stream, it should be a drop-down button. It should be a drop-down button. So, when you watching the video, click like the details and it'll drop down and it'll say my link, Stand Store. So you're gonna click on that. Let me see if I can pull it up from my phone. I got the bundle. Shout out to all my action takers tonight. Listen, shout out to all the action takers that's joining the winning team. Listen, you learning from the best in the business. Success is inevitable for you because you invested with the right mentor that's really going to take you to the top. And that's why I be on here. I'm not the person that try to overly convince people because success leave clues, and I let my students' success speak for me. So the girls that get it, and the ones that don't. But be careful where you spending your money. Make sure the person has receipts. Make sure the person have real success. Make sure the person is really helping people transform their lives. And that's what I do in real life for me and mine. And for me and my students, it's to the top for us every single time. And even when I stop teaching this, guess what? I'm still going to be pouring into my students because they invested in themselves. And I'm going to make sure it's to the top for them every single time. That's why I'm telling y'all, become a student now, not later, because it might not be available later. This will be added to my retirement investment, that part. And this is way better than being a traditional landlord, y'all. This is way better, way more impactful, way more fulfilling, way more money. Listen, the regular landlords, y'all, they only getting $300 a month off of us. Like, they not getting no money. So I'm seriously asking what I tried. I can't find it. Okay, so let me show you guys one last time before I head out on TikTok how to invest in a bundle. So you're gonna click on my profile picture right up here, and once you click on it, it should pop up at the bottom. Click on my profile picture again. Once you click on that picture, it's gonna take you to my profile that looks like this. Now you're gonna click on the link that says Stand Store right underneath my email. You're gonna click on that. I don't know why it's doing that. You're going to click on that. And when you click on that, it's the first one here. It's the first one here. And then I got the regular replay on sale if you don't want to get the bundle, but the bundle is the best bang for your buck. And then I also have the forms on sale. So if I have students in the chat that want to get their forms, the price is about to go right back up when I get off of here. You might want to take advantage, y'all, because when I get off of here, I'm taking all these links out my BIO. I'm taking all these links out. So this is the best time to become a student. Success loves speed. And for everybody that is investing in themselves, shout out to y'all. Let me show you guys how to join the FB community for ongoing support. Let's see. Oh, let me show you guys how to use Klarna and Afterpay. So if you want to use a payment plan at checkout, what you're going to do, you're going to click on whatever the bundle, right? You're going to scroll all the way down. And right here, you're going to see like a little arrow with that's green and it has a K. That drop down is going to show you Klarna or Afterpay. So this is how you can sign up for the payment plan and it'll break it down for you. So if you don't have the whole thing to invest today, listen, that Klarna and Afterpay going to be your best friend. But I got mine as a bundle. Shout out to you, me. Shout out to all my action takers in the chat doing the biggest one. Make sure you guys join the FB community. That's where you guys are going to be able to answer your question and get ongoing support on your journey. Let me show you. Can you approve me? I keep it denied. Inbox me. Are you putting your email in? Oh, and that's another thing. Thank you for reminding me. When everybody that requests the FB community that became a student, make sure you put the email you purchased with to be approved. Because if not, it's going to be declined because it's not a free group, y'all. You have to put the email you purchased with. So if you don't put your email, it's going to automatically get declined. It's going to automatically, when I click on it, I get a blank page. So maybe you have to approve the link, LINK, because sometimes TikTok blocks certain things, but it's not asking you what. Just inbox me or send me an email. Send me an email and I'll have to resend. But I don't. You might have to re-request. But just send me an email or inbox me, and then I'll be able to send you the link. I can't find the community. All right, let me show you guys before I leave because I gotta go for real now. I really gotta go. So this is what it looks like. It's called Independent Housing Community. It's like a white and blue house. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Augusta. And make sure you have a profile picture. It don't have to be a picture of you, y'all. I know a lot of y'all be trying to be low key and discreet and on the internet, but just make sure it's a picture of anything. It could be a dog. It could be a color, a flower. Just make sure you have some type of profile picture and you put the email. inside of this, it's going to ask you the question before you have to join. So it's going to ask you. So make sure you put your email inside this question box, and then the admins will approve it. But nobody's coming to save you. Get to it. Listen, y'all, that's my motto. Is nobody coming to save you, not no man, not no 9 to 5. It's up to you to go out there and create the life of your dreams and live life on your own terms. So go out there and build something that you can be proud of. Go out there and build something impactful that can really change your life and give you financial freedom, y'all. And this was the business that gave me the financial freedom that I could only dream of. So that's why I come on here and I teach you guys how to set these up in your cities and your states. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys were inspired. I hope I motivated you some type of way. But I will see you next time. If you don't follow me on all platforms, make sure you follow me on TikTok is Lane Lavish. Follow me on FB is Lane Ash. My YouTube channel is Lane Lavish. So go subscribe, like, comment, and subscribe. But thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I'll see y'all later. Have a good night.